Hey guys, it's your Rosie mum Anna, who's over 40 and still loves makeup, and today, or this evening, sorry, I should say, I'm doing a video that I was inspired to do today after sitting there. Do you guys ever just find yourself, sorry, I was shutting a door. Do you guys ever just find yourself sitting there swatching palettes just because they're pretty? And after I was, one of the main aspects to my channel is obtainable and affordable makeup. So not only am I in Australia, I am in Tasmania, which is the island state of Australia. We do not have a Sephora in our whole state. We have a Mecca Cosmetics, but for example, Naked Heat is 89 Australian dollars currently, and that is considered a new release. We get even very few of the drugstore releases you guys get. So I try and also focus, like I said, on attainable palettes in Australia. And I thought I was actually quite surprised at how many, Brights palettes in the last few months that were actually decent, and a couple that are awful. And one palette, which I guess would be considered my one high-end palette that I got when I was on holiday, and I went to Sephora because I just wanted to buy something in there that is also a Brights palette from a brand you wouldn't consider. So let's get into it. So this is an Australian brand. It's as old as me, but it was revamped to be, more modern and stuff, and they've got some fantastic products. One of them is they've released 3 of this new sized eyeshadow palette. And there's a beach days one, so there's this one, which is obviously warm tones and stuff. Then there is one that is pastels, and it's got some similar shades to the new tie-dye palettes and the small Huda Beauty ones, where the shadows are different colours swirled together and stuff. So there's one with a teal aspect and one with a sort of more pink and purple and pastel yellow. Colours wouldn't particularly suit me, and I decluttered my Morphe 35O palette and then realised that although I certainly prefer cool shadows, that's why I was surprised I actually had this many palettes, because what I look for in an eyeshadow palette is 18 different shades of mauve and taupes and stuff. I love them, but warm shadows possibly look better on me. I get more comments on them and stuff. So anyway, I got this one to replace my 35O, and the quality is amazing. And it's not just a neutral palette with a pop, like that orange, that beautiful green, like the Subculture one. There's pinks, there's shimmers, there's some horrible glitters. I mean, not that they're particularly horrible glitters, just that I don't have the most colourful one of these palettes, but Rimmel has really come to town like that. I know they originally did the nude ones of these, and then we got the Spice, which was similar to Naked Heat. Then we got the red one, which was Naked Berry, Naked. This was the Electric Violet one. It's Naked is duping them now with their purple Naked palette, which has a lot of tones very similar to this, including a nice green, but the aqua here is lovely. But they have so many ranges now. There's the Thunderstorm one now, and there is the the one called the Rainbow palette. It's not a Pride thing or anything like this. It's just the Magnific Eyes Rainbow edition. There's the Storm edition, and they are full of really good quality, really bright shades. These palettes are usually around $20. Then we'll go into Maybelline. So I would consider Soda Pop almost a Brights palette. Now, if you look at it, yes, there are some base shades in it, but remember when we'd see those ones that literally just had one random pop of blue, whereas this has the blue raspberry, cherry cola, cherry on top, which is a deep purple, grape pop, sugar high, crushing, and then the sort of neutral ones around the side. But they allow you to work with the colour to make it new. But if you want an actual colourful palette from Maybelline, check this out. So this is the Graffiti Nudes, and what a shame that this palette sucks so badly, because I don't know why it's called the Nudes anything palette, because this was them stepping out of their comfort zone. There's that emerald green in the corner, the aqua blue, the shimmery pink, like that's a hot pink, and then the shimmery purple. The only matte shades you get in here are a matte black and a matte white to make the shadows really pop. It was such a good idea, and I'm not even going to bother to swatch it. It's terrible. But yeah, like if you're a makeup magician, and I just thought it was interesting. There is one. The other thing I would consider a Brights palette from Maybelline is the Maybelline Attempt at a Festival palette. This one I really love. This one, it's almost like a highlighter palette. Like each one, they're pastel sort of duochrome shades. They come out on the eyes a lot nicer than they swatch. These two in the middle here have a really nice peach reflect and a blue reflect. That does that green to red thing really nicely, but these shades actually work. I love this as a blush, and yeah, I was just surprised when I found it that Maybelline had it. Next, so this isn't a pressed glitter palette. This is a, one of the ones where it's in the gel, and this is called the MCO Festival Ready glitter palette. So MCO Beauty is another like Australis like supermarket drugstore brand that has been made over and is trying to release more on-trend products, and they're certainly charging as though they're on trend, but they come out with lots of like limited edition ones that are like influencer collabs, I guess, but like the glitters actually work quite well. They are cosmetic glitter, they're eye safe, so there we go. I got that when it was on sale for $5, and I actually use that more for my daughter's dance and gymnastics and stuff. And this is my one high-end palette, I guess, in my whole collection, and I would call this a Brights palette. I know people bag Tarte out for being boring. I love Tarte's boring shades. They're like usually my favourite mauves and stuff, but I had so many that when I was in Sephora, and actually this was on sale for $40, and these shades, like, I don't know, like I said, because I haven't used a lot of the high-end formulas, I had a Naked palette, and I have Too Faced Sweet Peach and Original Chocolate Bar, but obviously they're not the same as the formulas people are whinging about. But yeah, like, people are constantly talking crap about Tarte, and to me these are beautiful shadows. Look how they come, and this is a Brights palette, and it smells like cake, and I want to eat it so much. And then I have two sort of honourable mentions because these are within a colour story, but the colour story is bright for a drugstore palette. So these are Makeup Revolution. I got a pack for Christmas that had these two eyeshadow palettes and then a face palette that had the marbled blushes and stuff that are beautiful. I love that. And Praline, a really nice gold highlighter. But this is the Peanut Butter Cup palette. So after they duped Too Faced's chocolate bar palettes, they just literally ran with it. And like, yeah, it's definitely a colour story, but the colour story is not traditional for drugstore palettes, and it is bright. There's a little too much repetition because like those and those obviously, and those you can't really tell the difference on the eye. You can tell the difference on the swatch, and if you're like me, I spend a lot of time just swatching my palettes because I think it looks beautiful. Like, see what I mean? But like, yeah, these are drugstore palettes, and they're like rainbow shades. And also along with that, I got the Red Velvet palette. Same thing, has a colour story, but it is very bright. Although once again, we don't need both of those. If that was as vibrant as it looks, it comes out more a nice pastel pink. The one at the top, Frosting, I really like. These shadows had a layer of like unworkable stuff. I saw on like a Facebook group to scrape the top layer off. I did since then. They are fine. Like, they're like as good as Maybelline's new formula or the BYS ones I showed you. They make decent, these are the only two I've tried, but decent palettes. But yeah, I would say that's sort of a Brights palette, but they're Brights within a cover story. But yeah, these are all Brights palettes that I really wouldn't have thought there were that many options for Brights in the drugstore that you could get walk out and get today in Tasmania or anywhere else in Australia. It's a bit of an odd video, but I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, subscribe, and let me know if you think I like your channel, particularly if you're an Australian or anywhere that has like access to different cosmetics. And like, I love watching hauls and makeup collections, but like once you watch one large American guru's palette collection, you've seen them all. You know what I mean? Like I have an entirely drugstore, except for this palette collection of ones that are in Australia, like DB Cosmetics, Designer Brands Cosmetics, Model Co, like that sort of thing. And I want to find more channels that do the Australis, blah, blah, blah. And I think we should really be highlighting what gems our country do have to offer. So yeah, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.